All right, we are dropping the clutch and going straight in. We are launching this deep dive right off the line because the F1 grid, it's not just shifting.
No, it is fundamentally tearing itself apart. The source material we have today, it paints this picture of a total narrative reversal.
And it all centers on validation, on performance, and just the sheer ambition in Formula One.
Yeah, this is so much more than just race analysis. We're talking about the economic and, frankly, the emotional fallout here. We're tracking a driver whose performance curve is it's vertiginous.
Vertiginous is the word. It's ascending so fast, it's forcing the giants of the sport to look over their shoulders at decisions they made, what, just months ago?
It's high drama, and it's all being played out at 200 miles an hour.
And the subject, of course, is Carlos Sainz. I mean, 2 major podiums this season, plus you got that extra hit of points from the sprint race. The question has completely changed for us, and for you listening, it's not if he deserves a top seat anymore.
No, not at all.
It's how much higher can he go, and what does his success reveal about the teams that, well, thought they could just move on without him? We have to break this down.
And before we jump into the raw data, let's be really clear here.
Go on.
This segment is part of our news coverage of recent F1 events. We're reporting on the facts and the implications just as they're laid out in the source material.
Okay, let's start with the hard numbers. The stuff that secures his legacy for this year, that recent podium was massive.
Huge.
Not just for him, but for Williams. It mathematically guaranteed them 5th position in the Constructors' Championship. That's locked in. Done.
And you have to put that into context.
Yes.
You absolutely have to.
Well, let's do it.
Williams was the 9th place team last year. 9th. So to make that kind of jump, to secure P5 with races still on the table, it's monumental.
And his contribution. 2 major podiums. You can't ignore that, especially when you know one critical fact.
Which is that the team had pretty much stopped any substantial car development way back in April.
Right, so they're running on an older architecture against rivals who are escalating their pace every single race.
Which is why we have to talk about the Sainz effect. You have to isolate it. How much of this is the car and how much is the guy behind the wheel?
Because physics says the results should be plateauing, maybe even declining if the development stops.
Exactly. The performance curve should be flattening out, but instead, Sainz is pulling out these incredible peaks. It just proves his value goes so far beyond the chassis design.
He's making up for an engineering deficit on track.
He's achieving results that, I mean, if you look at the statistics, this car should not be capable of producing, period.
Okay, but let's play devil's advocate. The immediate pushback, from the cynic in the comment section is always luck.
Oh, boy.
They'll point to the McLaren team error, the bad pit stop from Mercedes. Was he just in the right place at the right time?
That is the most common, and I'm just going to say it, the weakest counter-argument you can make. Because you cannot win on luck unless you are in the position to capitalize on it in the first place. Sainz did everything right to earn that opportunity.
He put himself in striking distance.
He qualified exceptionally well, and more importantly, he maintained an absolutely brutal rhythm through the entire race. He never fell back.
Let's talk about that rhythm, because the source material uses this great phrase. It said it wasn't a race of management, saving tires or fuel.
Yeah.
It was a full attack race, a Saco Paco run.
Exactly. It just means going completely all in. You are running at the absolute limit every single lap. It's exhausting.
And the data supports this.
The data backs it up completely. There were clear phases in that race where Carlos was matching the pace of the leaders. We're talking Verstappen, Norris, whoever was at the front.
So when you're on a full attack run and you have that pace and a mistake happens ahead of you,
you are instantly there to claim the spoils. That isn't luck. That is preparation meeting opportunity.
And inside the Williams garage, you see it. He's taken the gallones, the leadership stripes. It's his team now.
Oh, it's an undisputed #1 status. His teammate, Albon, who's a very good driver.
He is.
He's effectively disappeared from the conversation when it comes to these peak performances.
Yeah.
Which means the entire burden of development, of feedback, of scoring,
Yeah.
it all rests on Sainz's shoulders.
And he seems to love it. The pressure just fuels him.
He thrives on it. It activates something in him.
That's a great way to put it. Okay, as we shift into the technical side of how he's doing this, we want to welcome everyone watching us. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome to DRS Zone. You get all the visual breakdowns, the data, the full energy. Don't forget to subscribe for more F1 content because we are about to get into the nuts and bolts of Sainz's success.
Yeah, let's pick up on that technical analysis because this is really where Carlos Sainz separates himself from. I'd say 90% of the grid.
It's not just raw speed, it's the engineering brain.
It's his analytical, almost academic approach to setting up the car. The sources suggest he has this incredible ability, maybe from his father, to solve these complex engineering problems inside the car.
So he's not just feeling it, he's calculating it.
He is calculating it. Think of it like a spectrum. On one end, you have the explosive natural talents like a Leclerc or a Prime Hamilton. They just feel the chassis.
Right.
Sainz is different. He's fast because he understands the why. He gets the physics, the aero, the geometry, so he can tell the engineers exactly what needs to change to find more time.
So give us an example. The average driver says, I've got understeer. What does Sainz say?
The average driver says, I have understeer in turn 5. Our research suggests Sainz goes deeper. He'll say something like, the understeer is happening between 80 and 100 kilometers an hour, which tells me it's a mid-corner issue, probably related to the diff map under partial throttle. We should try decreasing the preload.
Wow. He's not reporting a symptom, he's diagnosing the cause and proposing a solution.
Precisely. And we have the perfect illustration for this.
Catalonia.
Catalonia. The team had a black cross next to that race on their calendar. They thought it was going to be their single worst weekend of the year.
And instead, they get a massive points haul and a podium.
How? They tried an experimental setup. The fact they gambled on something so radical and it worked proves Sainz's influence. He didn't just accept the car was bad there. He worked with them to crack the code.
That right there proves his value as a development driver, not just a racer.
And that's why the sources are now putting him, without any debate, among the 5 best of the current grid. You just can't argue with the data, especially since Baku.
The consistency is just staggering, and it feeds into his whole career narrative, doesn't it? He's always had to prove himself day after day.
He was the original Invisible Man.
I love that phrase for him. Always overlooked by the TV director, passed over for the big interview, but then you look at the scoreboard on Sunday.
And he's there, always there, delivering the point. It's like when someone says his pole lap could have been better, he just internalizes it and comes back stronger.
Okay, so this is where we have to switch gears. Because Sainz's success isn't happening in a vacuum, it's a direct burning spotlight on the chaos at Ferrari.
A chaos triggered by one decision, bringing in Lewis Hamilton.
The comparison is just, it's unavoidable, and it is brutal.
It's unforgiving, let's just say it. Carlos Sainz, in a Williams that finished 9th last year, has 2 more podiums than Lewis Hamilton in a Ferrari.
That is a devastating headline.
And what we're seeing from Hamilton is what the sources are calling an apagon. A blackout, a sudden, frankly alarming drop in performance.
We're talking 2 straight Q1 eliminations on pure pace, 3 if you count the sprint. This isn't strategy, it's a lack of speed.
And it's alarming because this is when he's supposed to be proving Ferrari right. Instead, the sources suggest this deep mental shift. He used to be focused on the 2026 rule change.
The Great Reset, his promised land.
Exactly. But now
Right.
he's looking at 2026 with suspicion, with reluctance. He might be realizing the problem isn't just the car.
The problem might be internal.
The capability for that adaptive shift he used to have will be gone. He is facing a reality where Leclerc is simply faster and better adapted to these cars.
And the poetic cruelty of this whole situation was on full display at the last race. I mean, the optics were just terrible for Ferrari.
Oh, a striking visual contrast. You had Pierre Ferrari there watching on.
You've got these long faces and hushed tones in the Ferrari garage.
And then, just a few boxes down the pit lane, the team that fired Sainz is blasting music, celebrating a podium they completely earned.
The contrast between the marketing success of the Hamilton signing and the on-track performance failure, it couldn't be clearer.
And that brings us to the most fascinating insight about the Ferrari situation. The door, however narrow, is not completely closed for Sainz to return one day.
Really? After all this?
Because the team principal still considers him, and I quote, an extraordinary pilot.
Why is his reputation so solid?
Because he's a professional. He's collaborative, he's a hard worker, and here's the key part. He generates no problems. He left McLaren on good terms. He leaves every team on good terms.
That's rare in F1.
Very rare. And that reputation means that when a big team needs a known quantity, someone who brings pace without the ego, Carlos Sainz is always at the top of that list. He's an asset.
So let's bring this deep dive home. His journey, this invisible man who just keeps fighting, is the ultimate lesson in resilience. He's doing exactly what he said he would, have the best season of his life in a difficult car.
His future is incredibly bright. He'll be sought after by everyone. Or, and this is the romantic narrative, he stays and leads the Williams project back to greatness, defying all the mastodons of the grid.
That's the legacy play.
It is.
So here is the question we want to leave with you. The thought to mull over for the rest of this season. What is the greater victory? Is it winning because you were handed the best car, the fastest machine on the grid?
Right.
Or is it winning when absolutely nobody counted on you, forcing the entire sport to recognize the massive error they made in dismissing the relentless hunter? You need to mull on that, and the intensity does not stop here. Keep it locked to the DRS zone. We keep this analysis going on every platform. Follow us TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for more explosive F1 analysis. We will see you at the next deep dive.